Hello, I'm Senta Rose, and this is my personal channel. I also have a spiritual channel called Blooming Life Guide, where I talk about healing from past trauma using spirituality. I also talk about being a light worker and all this involved with that. And the link to Blooming Life Guide is in the description box. I'm a little breathy because I have asthma, so pardon me. I have been doing a series of videos about my planner and notebook stack. Instead of doing one big video, I'm doing a series of smaller ones. So I have done one that is specifically about the weekly duo and how I'm using that for goal setting and especially for tracking my progress toward my goals, because setting the goals and forgetting it mid February is just not going to happen. We got to stick with it. And I also talked a little bit about how I have a backup planner, which is the weekly horizontal from Just Scribbles as well. And this one uses a weekly dashboard, and then it has daily pages in it. And this is just a backup. I use this just to break down tasks that need to be done for putting up a YouTube video or putting in ideas for future videos, or I'm going to be publishing books this year. So it would be some of the details that I need to track related to that and in on the daily pages or on the notes pages in the back. And then I'm briefly using this as well to have some tracking of my annuals, how the things that I pay annual fees for, and the money that I set aside each month for those annuals. Actually, I turned to one of the blank pages, but this is what it looks like when I'm actually contributing the January payments that I made. It's not really payments that I made. In January, I set aside money for each of these categories. I will do a little bit of journaling on the daily pages in here, and it will be related to the goals that I'm doing, to the projects that I'm in, or to the spending that I've done. Like if I have bought something, discretionary spending that is on my list of don't buy, I'm going to probably write a journal entry about why I bought it anyway, even though I've already decided not to. That's what this book will be. And it's a backup book. And frankly, a plain notebook like my trusty dusty Stalogy woodwork. I can't show you. It's all personal. I have just about used every single page in this. Um, so here's an example of a page that it doesn't have anything personal on it. I write sloppy in this book because I am not a decorative planner, and I don't necessarily try to write in a super neat way. All of my books are very functional. This book is almost empty, and its follow-up book is right here next to it, and it will be here for when I finish using this one. And yeah, it's an A5, but serves the same purpose. That is just scrap paper notebook. This is the main planner that I use, and I do a lot of tracking in here, and especially in the front here, I'm doing a lot of tracking when it comes to weekly things that I've done, how many times a week I've done things. And I'm also tracking in here things like how many clients I've seen. That kind of information is on this page. And then I'm tracking income and category spending and so forth in here as well, especially the category spending stuff is really helpful to see. But this is a workbook. It is not a memory book. At the end of the year, this gets shredded and recycled. It is not kept. What is kept is my memory keeper. And so I'm going to go over my memory keeper in just a moment. But first, I use the Cocoa Daisy. I started to say Katie Daisy. I do have a Katie Daisy. Where is it? It's right here. I have a Katie Daisy as well. I write, this is where I keep notes about my where I left off on writing something. If it's any of my creative writing, nonfiction writing or other creative writing things that I do, where I left off or what needs to be done next is what's written in here. But journaling about my day and how I'm doing is in the Cocoa Daisy notebooks. And these are just so beautiful. And again, I'm not sponsored by them. Each page is decorated like this. This is the December one, and I've hardly written in it at all. And I'm not worried about it. I will continue to write in it this winter. And then I will move on to a spring book come spring. In the very, very front, I have some journal prompts that I have written. And so I may or may not use those journal prompts to like journal about them, but it is something that I am gathering up and these are quite long journal prompts, admittedly, but it's so that I understand where I'm coming from. It's just not a quick question. It's something in depth that I really think I want to explore. So that is where I do my personal journaling. I use these books for more than a year. I just switch them out seasonally and just pick up where I left off when I get back to that season again. And periodically I buy more on clearance. I have a huge stack of them. And that's my personal journaling. This is my memory keeper. It's inside a plastic cover. It's the only thing I put in plastic. Everything else is just how, well, actually my Stology is in plastic. I always put my Stology in plastic, but everything else is not put in plastic. This is my 5-year memory keeper, and it's by Planner Perfect. And it doesn't have a date or anything on the front because I'm using this over the course of 5 years. One small notebook to hold 5 years worth of memories. So when you first open it up, there is a place for me to list all of the nonfiction books that I have read. And this actually starts in 2025. I have read nonfiction books in 2025. I just have not moved that information into the page. And I'll be doing that throughout the month of January. I'll be getting caught up in here. Then I have a section for any of the books that I published between 2025 through the end of 2029. Any books I publish go here. And then my impact summary for 2025 goes here. There's a place for me to write each month how many clients sessions I had that month, and a place for me to write the rest of the things that I did that made the world better because I was in it, how I impacted the world in a positive way. So I will write some of the different things that I did videos about or taught about in my Substack. Those kind of things will be in this section as my impact. If I make donations, I will summarize donations and charitable things that I've done too. And then I have a section for each of the following years for impact. This is followed by a page to record learning, and it's when I complete classes. I completed 2 classes in 2025. They're not written in here yet. I bought a truckload of classes in 2025 and completed 2. It's pathetic. And so that I want to change. So I'll be writing the date of completion on here. This is not a to be done. This is an after it's done, it's recorded. And I actually don't have a problem getting this book out at the end of each quarter and writing in it. And I just gotten behind in it. That was the plan, is that I would get it out at the end of every season and write in it. Then I have a page that actually has been filled out, and it has some numbers in there. So I need to grab a sticky note and cover up some numbers. I think that's all I need to cover up. Yeah, that'll be fine. there is something else I need to cover. It has some information down here. I don't think you can actually see it because I think it gets pixelated, but just in case, I'll cover it up. You might ask, why do I not edit my videos? I'll tell you why. I'm sick of all those AI videos out there. I'm sick of them. They look like real people talking, and then there's like telltale signs that they're AI, but you find out later other people saying, hey, that video by this lady from the Social Security Administration isn't real. That's from another country, and they're saying things that aren't true. I'm sick of that. So my videos are so obviously done by a human. That's why I don't edit my videos. And in addition, I also fight against perfectionism. And if I edited videos, I would be doing it till there was nothing left of the video at all. Which explains also, I don't wear makeup in my everyday life. So I decided to stop wearing makeup to make the videos, because really, why would I look different for you than I look for anyone else? I think women look beautiful in makeup and colored hair and fancy nails. And if that's you, I support you, because I support your free will to do that. But I also would like to give people permission, especially people who are in my age group. I am going to be 62 very soon, to stop. If you want to stop, just stop. It's okay. You don't have to keep it up if you don't want to. And for me, it's so expensive, and my budget just doesn't let me buy books if I spend money on makeup and hair and nails. And books are too important. So this is where I track my income. So I'm writing in here, I turn the book to its side, and I'm writing in income. And so I write in the income I get from my business, income that I get from my pension, and what the total is. And then down over here, I'm writing some productivity numbers for the month, for each of the months of the year. This is down through 12. My productivity numbers, my health score, my health. I measure every single day. I'm measuring my health symptoms on a scale. And so I write the average for the month, what those health symptoms were. So I can compare if my health symptoms were worse, my income was down. Maybe there's a good reason why, my productivity and my income was less, because my symptoms are worse. And income interfering events are written here. Like I got the flu and it took me out. I was gone for a couple of days from work, and so forth. And then on this page, I have that spending categories that I described in the other video I did about how I track my spending, or how I handle my budgeting and so forth. Every month I write out how much money I spent in these different categories. And so what I'm doing in here is I'm writing in the monthly average that I spent in each of these categories. And I may write, I'm thinking I'm going to add what the totals I spent were, but I'll put the monthly average over here, and then behind each one, I'll write the totals that I spent. And the total average, and then what my average income was, and what the difference is between what I spent and what my income was. And then down here is information about taxes that I've sent in. I have some stickers on the page. I use stickers in here from multiple different places. These stickers happen to be from Simply Smith. But I have stickers in here also, like on this first page, I have a sticker, a couple stickers that are from Hand Can Plan. That's the Simply Smith sticker. So they're just different places that I've gotten stickers. And here I have a place to record the learning. These stickers are from Simply Smith. And I have a section in here for 2025 business expenses right here. And then it immediately says 2026 business expenses, because this book is a 5-year memory keeper. And I try to keep information for each of the years next to each other where they're easy to compare. So 2025 business expenses, 2026 business expenses, and then turning the page, You turn it to the side, and here is my income and my health symptoms for 26. And then I just turn the page back a couple pages. Just a couple pages back, and I have 25, the same information, easy to compare. And that's how the whole book is designed, for easy to compare information. So then I have the 27 business expenses and 28 and so forth, all the way through 2029. At the end of 2029, I have the business expenses here, and then I start the pages of quarterly or seasonal reviews. So the winter of 2025 I've done the review for it in here. And then I have the spring of 2025 and so forth. I am behind on all of these. So I still have summer and autumn of 2025 to get through. But the goal here is like quarter one, I'm just calling winter. Quarter two, I'm calling spring. It just doesn't have to fit exactly the quarter. It can be, the idea is that I'm really talking about the seasons. January and February and a good part of March where I live is winter. Definitely. So I have these questions that I answer, and I use a different color for the prompt. And I do the same prompts for each of the seasons. So the same prompts here are highlighted. The words for the prompts are highlighted. And then the same words are highlighted here for the prompts and so forth. And I have those prompts here in the back on a sticky note that I can just lift up and move closer to me when I'm working on it. So the first prompt is bloom, and that is what I'm proud of or celebrate for the season. The second one is pests. What was out of my control, but drained me or prevented me from reaching some goals? Weeds, what were things that I either put some boundaries in place related, or I need to put boundaries in place related? Leaves, or how did I fill my energy? What were things I did that helped me feel more energized to do my goals? And then roots. Roots are my values, my personality strengths, my spirituality, my faith. How did that play a role this season in my life? My roots. And then I don't put buds or ideas for the future in this review, but when I do my twice a month review in the back pages of my weekly duo, those questions are asked. What is it that I'm looking forward to, or what are some goals that I really want to focus on the next week? And so I have one of my reviews is really short. It's just half a page. So you get an idea of what it looks like. They're not necessarily very long reviews when they're done every 2 weeks, but when they're a whole season long, they can be 2 or 3 pages long. And I have enough pages in this book for me to do 3 pages a season for all 5 years. And then in the very, very back here, I have another the back cover to write more nonfiction books that I have read. And this is categories of goals. And that's something I was doing in 2025 instead of the goals that I'm doing this year. In that year, I had goals related to these categories. And it's not much different. I just wrote them different this time, and I called them something different this time. So I'm fine with that. I actually kind of want to keep this in here because I think I might go back to it again in 27. But for this year, I chose to go a different route. So it was spiritual, practicing my spirituality. It was skin care, specifically skin care. home care, health, which involves like fitness and eating right, that kind of stuff for health. Finances is following my budget, saving money. And impact was getting things published, getting information out into the world, getting time with clients and so forth. So they're very similar goals that I had in 25 to 26. At the end of 5 years, I will have a summary of every season for the 5 years in here. I will have all of this, the metrics for every year of the 5 years, my income, my spending categories, what I spent, but also my health symptom summaries and so forth will be in here. And all of the classes that I completed, all of the things that I published, all of that will be written in here. When it comes to impact, every single YouTube video that I put out will not be written in here. It will have a summary. I published this number of YouTube videos and they were on these different subjects. So I had so many on this subject and so many on this one. That's probably when I would organize YouTube videos into playlists, for example. And I might say, well, I've created this playlist and it has this number of videos in it. The goal here is that I do have a place that's pretty, that I take my time to write a little bit more neatly, but I still can use whiteout. I can still fix things if I need to, because I'm imperfect. And this page has a lot of whiteout on it because I started to do something different, changed my mind, and it'll be neater the next year. When I do spending categories for 26, it'll be neater because I just had it set up with more categories and I realized I needed. That's all. I just believe in using something and have it be functional, but I also like it to be pretty. And although I don't use kits to decorate with, I do like a few stickers here and there. And I am not affiliated with Planner Perfect. I don't have a discount code or anything for you. I bought this with my own money. I really like the quality of what she puts out. This is sewn. You can see in the middle how it's sewn. It will last decades and decades in my home. When I buy the next one, I might get a different cover so that I'm always keeping it in a cover. Or I might not. I might just take it and put it in a shoebox. I have decorative shoeboxes that I got from Michael's that I store these things in. Previous to this 5-year one, I used to make one for every year. And now I've said that's ridiculous. I don't need a whole one for every year. I just need a 5-year planner. And I really think this is going to be far more interesting to read than page after page after page for every single year. I think I will enjoy this. Think outside the box. Do what works for you. Don't just do what's trendy. You can be a square peg in a round whole world, and not make yourself smaller so you fit in. You can stay your unique self. Be authentic. Show up in the world without makeup on and discover that people are more interested in what you have to say than how you look. And if you have opinions about how I look, it's none of my business. I don't care to know. I love people, but I don't need to be criticized. So be kind. I'm a real person. I'm not AI, and I'm not even trying to become a professional YouTuber. I'm putting out information that I find interesting and just sharing in the conversation with others. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.